Okay, so here on Good Day, we love local, and locally, it's time for fall plays at high school theater departments.
Our Carmen Ludwig visits Perrysburg High School, where students have a fresh take on a well-loved drama, The Diary of Anne Frank.
Obviously, the Holocaust is a really important moment in history, and it's overall important for people to be educated on the Holocaust in general, but I think that Anne herself shows a really important lesson in the fact that she is so hopeful throughout this terrible time, and I think it is really important for people to learn from her uplifted spirit.
Specifically for the show, we did a ton of research on the characters themselves, because they were all real people. Everybody in the show is either a real person or based off of a real person, so we did a ton of research on how they were personally and what kind of their interests were and what they did on their day-to-day lives.
I've definitely done a lot of research, not just about the time period, but about Anne and her family in general, just to really help get into the mindset of what she was feeling at the time.
The grayscale choice that was the first thing we learned, is it was all going to be in grayscale. It's easier to get a lot of the historical stuff correctly when it's grayscale, but also it makes it its own work of art in itself. It's like watching a painting or watching a black and white film, and I think that really adds to the beauty of the show and the idea of the show.
We are using like sunset makeup. It's just like a kind of foundation that's like colored, and then what we did is we took pictures of like all the cast and we flipped it into grayscale, and we just like took the gray from that color and like mixed it to that shade.
The most difficult thing is getting the lights to work with the full grayscale, just because we have to make sure it doesn't look too blue or too yellow on stage.
Certain things that are in color, I think, are either symbols of the great evil that was happening during that time period, but also coming out of the other side with hope.
It was a very sad time period, and I feel like the black and white and grayscale helps bring the audience into this like environment, this very sad and serious and depressing even environment.
I hope the audience can really see how truly hard and stuck they were in the annex, and how everything they went through with World War II, and how everything came together to be like through Anne's diary to tell her story.
And it's really something that's really impacted me is seeing everybody work together to build this show from the ground up, especially because it is such an emotional show.
I think it's really important to keep in mind that this is educational, and it's important for other people to learn, not just the cast, to learn from this experience.
There are some stories that the moral of them never dies, and they're just as relevant today as they were when they had happened or when they were originally told. And I think that is very true for this show.
Tickets for The Diary of Anne Frank at Perrysburg High School are $10. Catch the show tomorrow and Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. Wow.
Yeah, I just love the set. I love those students just digging into it a little bit more too, what they're trying to bring out with the grayscale and making sure the lighting is just right for everything. So really good. Love that last comment by that student there, that some morals just continue to live on. Sometimes they're even more relevant today. The lessons than they were back then. So yeah, really awesome. That's going to be a really good play.
It really is, and I love that they chose it, you know, and that way they could learn, and there is that educational component in there too. So break a leg to the actors there.
For sure.